Hello everyone, and welcome to the Mindfulness online guided meditation. Thank you for being here. Your presence counts, and we're here to meditate together and to support each other in our formal mindfulness practice. It's a way of preparing ourselves so that we're ready to deal with difficulty when it arises. And we'll talk a little bit more about being with difficulty later. And during the meditation, I advise you to explore this option. If difficult emotions arise or a difficult physical sensation, then can you move towards it? Can you approach it with interest, with curiosity? And here in France and worldwide, we've been dealing with some really intense difficulty this week. And we'll have the opportunity to explore that a bit and how a mindfulness approach might be helpful. So, sitting in a dignified posture, which helps us to stay alert, we're going to close our eyes for 10 minutes, mindfulness of the breath. Noticing how it feels to sit. Connecting with the body, and when we're in touch with our senses, we know that we are in the moment. The senses are giving us present moment information. Through the senses, touch, hearing, sight, taste, etc. We can experience life directly. So by feeling our backside on the chair or cushion, we know that we are here. And even when the mind takes us off into an imagined future or into a remembered past, if we can sense our body, then we inject a state of being and presence into our experience. So feeling the weight of our body supported from underneath. And feeling our feet in contact with our socks, our shoes, the floor. And then inviting our attention to the breath. Feeling the rise and fall. Noticing the physical sensations of breathing. Staying close to the detail. Being with the stretch and the letting go. Being with the caress of air entering and leaving. Being with the flow and the pauses. Observing how it feels to breathe. And noticing the mind that might prefer things to be different. The mind that takes us off on a story or distracts us in some way. And we can choose whether to engage with the mind. And we might choose to stay with the breath, the body, and the moment. And we may choose to stay here even when things are uncomfortable. Even when we have worries, a low mood, when we're feeling insecure, anxious, or sad. We may choose to live our life fully and be with whatever our present moment experience is. And being here in a particular way, being here kindly. Watching the flow of the breath and sensing the body breathing. Following the breath all the way in and all the way out. And each time we gently accompany the mind back to the moment, we're practicing mindfulness. We're practicing paying attention. We're practicing being here. And if there is a discomfort of some sort, we might notice our desire to avoid it. And we might take the opportunity to move towards it instead of avoiding it. We might choose to go there with curiosity with interest. We might choose to be the observer and to gain awareness of what's there. And once we can feel what's there, once we're aware, we might have the courage to allow it to be there. A form of acceptance. Okay, that's what's happening. Awareness and acceptance. Allowing ourselves to be with the moment and to be with the difficult, if that is what arises. And we continue to breathe in mindful awareness. Tuning in to the physical sensations as we breathe. Following this breath and this one. And just another moment in mindful awareness. And when we're ready, opening our eyes. There are some folds in the curtain, so there's some different shadows falling as the sun comes out. So today, being with the difficult, and it was a subject that we discussed at some length today in the mindfulness class, and there were people here who were directly affected by the drama in Paris this week. And of course, everyone is trying to come to terms with these threats and this violence and trying to work out what it means and how do we deal with it. And I received a beautiful blog from Terry Patton, who points out that, yes, we try and make sense of these things, and people have different opinions. Maybe we have to meet violence with violence. Maybe that's not the most evolved path for the future. Maybe there are other ways of dealing, and other ways of looking at this this terrible situation. But he encourages us to be fully self-aware and to notice when we latch on to an opinion or a proposition in order to file these difficult emotions that we're not really comfortable feeling. And when we do that and we latch on to old ways of dealing with the difficult, just so that we don't have to continue to feel the discomfort, then we miss the opportunity really to evolve or to find a new way. And so he advises us to stay as fully present as we can with the unsettled feelings, with the fear, with the unresolved, and to allow that to be a fully felt experience, to be as aware as possible, and to notice the temptation to run away from it, to file it behind an opinion or a proposed action or solution. And if we can stay with the discomfort of something so terrible, then we stay in a state of openness and our minds behave in a broader fashion. We can often see solutions or options that we don't see when we're in fight and flight, and when we have a narrow, threatened mode of mind. So by jumping into doing mode and finding a solution and taking action, and doing those things because we're uncomfortable with feeling the difficult, we limit ourselves and we don't open ourselves up to new options and new possibilities. And so by mindfully staying aware of the discomfort, we might be able to bring about a sense of coping in a way such that maybe we can respond intelligently instead of reacting in a knee-jerk fashion. And he said it all more fluently than that, and I will post his blog or forward it on the Facebook page. So yes, part of my hesitation today is from feeling some very strong emotions, and I'm glad to have a mindfulness practice to be able to make some sense and to be able to stay with and feel empathy and compassion, along with all the other emotions too. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again next week for another mindfulness practice together. And I wish you bon courage in staying with the difficult. Bye-bye for now.